Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat petang. Okay, I'm Mada Sharifah Nafisa and we will cover the chapter 1 for PST 662. Okay, chapter 1 is the principle of product design. Okay, so we look at the syllabus content. Okay, first we look at the course learning outcome. So at the end of the course, student should be able to define the properties of a plastic and composite required for designing polymer product. And second one, explain the design requirement for stiffness and strengthening of polymer and composite product. Third, identify common design manufacturing problems and recommend appropriate solution to overcome these problems. And the last one, evaluate the product design in relation to specific function and tolerance of an injection molded product. So PST 664 actually the course that cover the principle of design for manufacturing polymer and composite product. So this include the appropriate selection of material, design proposition in relation to product application and services. So this course is basically a theory. Okay, you don't need to make any drawing or to use any software. Okay, just a theory only. Alright, look at the syllabus content. Okay, we have 11 chapter. Okay, the first one is about the concept of mapping in drawing a selected design. Okay, second chapter we will cover about the material selection in terms of the properties such as amorphous and semi-crystalline. Okay, third chapter will cover about the analysis of data from supplier and the manufacturer, which is the standard type of testing, method of testing, and so on. Chapter 4 is about the strength and the stiffness design. Okay, some other new terms we will find in this chapter. Okay, some parts like ribs and so on. Okay, chapter 5 involve about the isochronous and isometric curve. Okay, different types of creep curve for plastic design. Okay, chapter 6 we will cover about the static, dynamic, and cycle loading. Chapter 7 concept of mold filling and tolerance. Chapter 8 about all about the decoration in plastic. Chapter 9 assembly of product. Chapter 10 welding of product. Okay, so basically um, so we have 10 chapter to go, right? So for the assessment, this is the previous assessment which is conducted during face-to-face learning. But during the ODL session, we will have only 4 assessments, which are 1 test, 1 quiz, 1 assignment, and 1 final exam. Okay, so for final exam, we'll cover about 40%, and the others 60% includes quiz, assignment, and also tests, right? So basically, PST 662 will make the student to be able to relate the plastic or composite properties to the processing method used in designing polymer product. So student will know about decorating, welding, and assembly of plastic product. They will also able to recognize common design manufacturing problem and recommend appropriate measures to overcome these problems. Okay. All right. So we look at the content of the chapter 1, which are concept of mapping in drawing a selected design. These notes are prepared by Mr. Saiful previously, right? So we look at the first slide. What is the product development? Okay, so the product development is actually a chart which is used as a first pass guide, okay, to management to show the estimated time required to achieve a series of checkpoints along the path of development towards final availability of the products to the end user, which are customer. Okay. So basically, in engineering drawing in design process, here we have several steps, which are visualize, sketches, geometrical model, and detailed drawing and 3D model. Okay, of course, when designing a plastic parts, okay, you need to draw a 3D design of the product, right? So before you draw the design of the product, we as an engineer, we have to visualize what is the problem you want to tackle. Okay, uh, you have to identify the problem and explore the ideas to cope the problem. Okay, so we use a visualization technique, which is the ability to mentally picture things that do not exist. Okay, then after we have a clear visual, what is the problem to the product, the engineer will do some sketches, right? Which is they will make a proper drawing, like design and also record initial ideas. Okay, so from the statement of the need, a specific or equivalent must be formulated of the product to be designed, right? So basically, we use a geometrical model, okay, to create from sketches, use or analysis. Okay, so the sketches and geometrical model is the terms for communication, right? Which is the design solution should be communicated to others without ambiguity. Okay, and the last step is the detailed drawings and 3D models. 3D models. Okay, this is the last step. Okay, so the engineer will set up the requirements such as the shape, the dimension, okay, the load, environment, target of the quantity, cost of production, and also the schedule time to produce the new product. Okay, so the refine, optimize, and record the precise data for production process or implementation. So this is called as a documentation stage, which is the permanent record of the solution. Right. So this is the design flow chart showing how design tools and material selection enter the procedure. So information about materials is needed at each stage, but at very different levels of breadth and precision. So this is the design process, okay, what the market needs. Engineer must study first what the needs of the market, what is the customer needs, okay. So it will approach to the concept, right? So the concept, just I mentioned earlier, um, um, the engineer must set up the requirement and so on, okay, to know what is the shape required or suitable for the design, okay, the dimension and also the load, okay. So the selection of the material is very crucial, right? So the design tool, whether they want to use the geometrical model or they want to use the simulation, okay? So embodiment is the icon, a model, okay? Subset of material, higher data, precision, right? So the initial design analysis, they need to formulate the plan or geometrical drawing, okay? It include the engineering analysis, process selection, and also the initial selection. Okay. So the details in the design of the plastic part product will include the component modeling, finite element analysis, one material which is best available data precision. Okay, so the details is a safety factor for the end product. Okay, so the finalized design or more or die design, they will do several tests such as the shrink test and loading test, fatigue test, and so on. Okay, depends of the application of the product design, right? So The other tests include the thermal analysis test. Okay. So the product will then be released here. Okay, the product then will be released and ensure the product meet all the function. Okay. Okay, this one is the flow. Okay, flow of the product development. Okay, we have several phase, which is 0 to 8 phases. Okay, we look at the okay, we look at the product development for phase 0, which is the preparation of the proposal. This is the time at which the product is proposed to team members. Okay, these members join forces to define potential worldwide requirement and product objective and user standpoint and project a formal business case to solicit funding. Okay, so during the phase 0, it reached a checkpoint A. So checkpoint A becomes a requirement to agree to the product feasibility and purpose, which is tentative dates, right? So what is in a phase 0 means? So phase 0 is the stage the engineer and all the members it decide the criteria, okay, of the product they want to design. Okay, they want to create. It has to define the economics such as the total capital, the cost, the annual cost. Okay, for example, they want to create minimum energy utilization of the product. Can so they will target as many as idea as you can possibly generate based on the experience and the knowledge. Okay. Okay, phase 1, define the product specification. Initial product specifications are prepared based on the phase 0 proposal and succeeding discussion. So the initial plans are established for every aspect of the product. For example, target prices, schedule dates, product information, test plans, manufacturing processes, material selection, and so on. So basically, in the phase 1, they decide whether what types of material they want to use. Okay, plastic material to be used, whether thermoplastic, semi-crystalline, or amorphous, thermoset or thermoplastic reinforcement. Okay, what types of fabrication processing, the maximum production rate. Okay, they also want to consider the safety or minimum weight. So during the phase 1, they will reach the checkpoint B, which is to become a commitment from all team members to the development plan as it exists at this time. Okay, we reach at the phase 2, which is the design of the product. So this phase contains the details of the model, like the fit, the function, okay, and the work, and this phase, okay, this stage, all the team members work with the manufacturing team and also the purchasing to select the plastic material to be utilized. Okay. Okay. Next is the phase 3, which is the design reviews. Okay. During this phase, the team members go over the involving product design to determine what changes, if any, are required. Okay. So in addition, all plans are formalized, updated, and approved. So the last one is the final funding requirement if the product is established. Okay, so this step is achieved at the checkpoint C, which become one of committing the product to marketing. Okay, we reach the phase 4, which is determine the sourcing strategy. Okay, checkpoint D state that all team members agree to the sourcing strategy and all codes package are created and sent out. Okay, phase 5 if develop prototype. Okay, phase 6 validate the product. Okay, validate product. Phase 6 is used to determine the viability, which is the ability to live of proceeding into production. Okay, final costs are established, business measurement are updated, and team members must agree to the project.